I moved into the neighborhood for peace. After 10 years in the city dealing with honking horns at midnight and elevators that always smelled faintly of disappointment, a quiet suburban development with trimmed hedges and little free libraries on every corner felt like a reset button on my life. My townhouse was modest, but it had a backyard, and the HOA fees promised landscaping, snow removal, and what I assumed would be a sense of order. Enter Karen. I met her during my second week in the neighborhood, unloading groceries from my hatchback. She walked over briskly, wearing a visor, white capris, and the kind of permanent expression that suggested she'd seen things and found all of them disappointing. "You must be new," she said, her voice clipped and efficient. "I'm Karen. I'm on the HOA board." I told her my name, extended a hand. She didn't shake it, just nodded once and glanced at the grocery bags. "You really should use reusable bags. We try to be very eco-conscious around here." With that, she turned and walked away. A welcome committee of one, I guessed. The next few weeks, I noticed her everywhere. Walking her yappy Pomeranian, measuring someone's lawn with a tape measure, taking photos of trash bins left out past pickup time. She ruled the cul-de-sac with an iron fist, and I had the sense everyone tolerated her the way you tolerate a pebble in your shoe, quietly and with increasing irritation. Still, I mostly stayed out of her path until the ride. It started innocently enough. I was heading to the mall on a Saturday afternoon, a routine I'd developed for running errands and enjoying the small joys of overpriced pretzels and wandering air-conditioned stores without buying anything. As I pulled out of the driveway, Karen flagged me down like a traffic cop. "Going to the mall?" she asked. No preamble. "Yeah," I said. "Need a lift." The words were out of my mouth before my brain could veto them. She smiled. A tight, businesslike smile. "That would be very convenient." She climbed into the passenger seat with a tote bag that smelled faintly of lavender and judgment. We made small talk on the way. Well, she talked. I nodded. She offered unsolicited commentary on the landscaping of neighboring communities, the rising crime rates, she blamed teenagers, and the lack of moral fiber among those who used Bluetooth speakers in public. We got to the mall. I parked. She looked at me. "I'll text when I'm done," she said, already out of the car. And just like that, I had a passenger to retrieve. It wasn't until I was sipping coffee an hour later that I realized she hadn't asked. I had offered, yes, once, but she assumed the return trip. Strange, but I let it slide. Maybe she didn't get out much. Maybe she was lonely. That was my first mistake. The next Friday, she showed up at my door. "Heading to the store tomorrow?" she asked, holding a clipboard. Always a clipboard. I hadn't planned. "Well, if you go, I'd appreciate a ride." "Same time as last week. I have some shopping to do. I'll bring my own bags this time, of course." And with that, she walked off. It wasn't a request. It was scheduling. I could have said no. I know that now. But in the moment, I was too stunned, too polite, too unsure if this was just suburban etiquette I hadn't learned yet. So I drove her again. And again the next week. Then it became Wednesday afternoons, too. Then Sunday mornings. Always phrased the same way. "Are you heading out?" Followed by, "I'll come along." Never, "May I?" or "Would you mind?" She never offered gas money. Never said thank you. Never seemed aware that I might have my own errands, my own pace. She barked directions from the passenger seat like a human GPS with passive-aggressive software. "You'll want to take the frontage road. The freeway gets backed up. That's not the best lot. Park over there. Turn your music down. That bass carries." By the fifth ride, I started keeping receipts for gas in my glove box. Not because I expected her to pay, but because I wanted evidence, proof that this weird rideshare purgatory was costing me something real. Time, money, patience. Then came the Wednesday she was late. I was sitting in the driver's seat at 2:05 p.m., engine running, scrolling through my phone when she bustled out of her house in sunglasses and a blazer like she was heading to a board meeting, not Marshall's. She climbed in without apology. I had a Zoom call. HOA emergency. Someone tried to install a trampoline without clearance. I said nothing. I was already halfway done drafting the message in my head I'd never send. Hey Karen, I'm not your chauffeur. That's when she dropped the bomb. Oh, and next Monday, I'll need a ride to my doctor's appointment. 10:30. I'll be fasting, so no coffee stops. I blinked. Next Monday. She frowned, as if I had failed a pop quiz. Yes, I texted you about it. She hadn't. I actually have work then, I said. Meetings. She paused. Can't you reschedule? No, I said. I have a job. That earned me a long, assessing look. The same one she probably gave to teenagers skateboarding past the park or lawns with dandelions. I see, she said finally, as if I had told her I moonlighted as an arsonist. We rode in silence that day. She still didn't pay for gas. Still didn't say thank you. Just got out of the car at the curb, shut the door with a soft finality, and walked off. The next morning, there was a note on my windshield. It wasn't handwritten. It was typed and formatted like an HOA violation letter.